This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Humanity, look how far you've fallen.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and fury of anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and we're going to be talking about Batman's The Long Halloween this morning. Good morning to my co-host this morning, Purple Valkyrie. How are you doing, Purple?
Good morning. Doing well, thank you. Good morning, Valhalla.
Good morning, Valhalla. And really quick, before I say good morning, everybody, Mexican Iron Man with $4.99 Super Chat says, showtime. That's all he says, ladies and gentlemen, is showtime. But the way he said it, he just burned it down. Skull!
Skull!
That's right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to Lady Miz. Good morning to Eddie Gannon. Good morning, Larry. How are you doing, Larry? Good morning to Lady Arwood Avalon. How are you doing this morning? Good morning to Timon Flip, Snorta Poopus Cuber, Mark the Infinitely Tired, and Chris Persia. The Bash Brother Wrenches are here. Good morning to the Doctor of Disaster and Destruction. I just like saying that. A Dead Outlaw. Good morning, good morning to Psychodorf 9. How are you doing, brother? Good morning to Shum Lord Bob. How are you doing, guys? Jester of Sin. Good morning, Jester of Sin. The Jester of Sin. How are you all doing this morning? Good morning, guys. It is Monday, and it's time to start your week off with a bang, or an Abby smash in the long Halloweens. Yeah, long Halloween. Gun Bunny, good morning, Gun Bunny. Yes, we're going to be talking about the long Halloween this morning. I will be talking about the Alex Kurtzman situation eventually, just not this morning.
Yes, let's kind of let that sink in and, commiserate.
Yeah. And the death of Star Trek. Lost Knowledge, good morning. Good morning, Lost Knowledge. But I wanted to talk about this animated film, this two-parter, and I wasn't going to change it when all the Alex Kurtzman stuff came out. I was like, nope, I'm still going to talk about the long Halloween because the first part of this movie was magical. There's part one and the part two, and I really, really enjoyed part one. What about you, Purple?
I did as well. I was actually really impressed with it. I kind of went in, I was a little bit nervous. As I've said before, this is one of my favorite stories. I was thinking, can they get it right? I knew going in that the animation was very reminiscent of the animated series.
Yes.
Which was a big plus for me because it looks fantastic. It really does. But I was pleasantly surprised, especially with part one. I was sitting watching it and I was thinking, this is really, really good. I'm loving the cast.
Yeah. And Project Storytime has something to add to what I said earlier. But my rumors say cuts me inspired soon. Yeah, my rumors. Yeah, wow. Anyway.
This is why we don't talk rumors.
That's why we don't talk rumors on this show. I'll talk rumors on other people's show, but I won't not talk rumors on this show. So, this was really good. You had Tom Baker as the Joker, part one of this. You've got Jensen Ackles as Batman, who does a really good job. Who played roles previous to this. He played the Red Hood in the Red Hood animated film. I thought that was really good.
Yes. Yeah, he did a really good Batman, I've got to admit, both Batman and Bruce Wayne, because he did similar to what has been done in the past, and he went out of his way to make the voices sound different for each of them.
Yes.
And I always love it when the voice actor does that.
So he's a little brighter, I guess, as Bruce Wayne. When he starts speaking like Bruce Wayne, Alfred, come here, and then Batman, Alfred, I need you to look at this. It's not as over the top as some previous Batman actors.
It's not quite on the level of Christian Bale.
Where are the other? Oh my God! What
Wow.
happened to him? Take a lozenge, Batman. You'll clear all that up. But I had to say, it kept me very entertained. The animation was beautiful. Brought back thoughts of the animated series. It really brought back that animated series feel, and it was enjoyable. There wasn't any really over the top SJW nonsense. It took a good road with everything. You got a little more Catwoman than you had in the book in part one.
Yes, that is true.
But the only real problem I had with it, and I had to be told this, I didn't even hear this when I watched it the first time. There's a point in the movie where Batman says, "I never wanted to be a detective," and that's total bullshit.
Yeah, that's not the case. And especially in part one, they rely quite heavily on the idea that he is using detective skills to track down this killer. This story takes place quite early on in Batman's career, and it definitely he uses his more knowledge. He doesn't rely on gadgets in this, which is I think why I like the story.
Yeah. And Project Storytime, oh my God, I can't talk this morning. Project Storytime asks, is Tom as good as the Skeletor guy? He sounds almost identical to the Skeletor guy. The only time I could tell it wasn't Mark Hamill was when he laughed.
Yes, Troy Baker does actually a really good passable impression of Mark Hamill. It's really weird. I just think of him as like the discount version of him now.
Pod Racing Palpatine says, I thought he always wanted to be a chef. Who knew? Who knew that Bruce Wayne always wanted to be a chef? That's what he always wanted. And Fat Steven Seagal with $2 Canadian Super Chat says, these are not the voyages of what was Star Trek. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yes, I think we need a grieving period before we tackle this story.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're talking Star Trek tomorrow, and I may have a special guest tomorrow after. I may have a show in the middle of the day. I don't know yet. It's possible.
Nice.
So, but back to Batman. So the first part of this was good. We find out at the very end that the actress that played Catwoman passed away in the middle of them making this, and I had absolutely no idea. I had to look this up. That the actress who played Naya Rivera passed away during the film, during the I almost said filming, when they were making this, where they were doing all the animation. Yes.
It was a very tragic accident that she passed away, unfortunately. But I actually really liked her role. I thought she did a really good Catwoman. I liked the kind of sass that she gave the character. I loved the character designs for most of the characters, especially in the second part. One of my favourite characters has a quite prominent role, and I really liked his design.
Yeah, all the artwork, all the design in this is absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm. The only criticism that I've heard people say of the artwork is they didn't like the dark outlines around the characters. But I thought that was pretty good. I thought that it's very kind of comic book-esque looking.
Yeah, it made me think of what's that one with the lawyer? Yeah, very comic booky. I can't think of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's an animated series with damn lawyer that I can't think of right now, but yes, absolutely. Psychodorf9 with $2 super chat says, "Hello, Detective Comics." Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I'm not going to be a detective. Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's Detective Comics. It was named that because of you. The greatest detective in the world. Don't give me that shit. Don't give me that shit. I never wanted to be a detective. Bullshit.
This was what the character started out as before he ever became known for the gadgets, before he became known for the cars and the plane and all this stuff. He was the Dark Knight detective.
Oh my Lord. And thank you so much, Fat Steven Seagal. Thank you so much, Psychodorf9, for your super chats. You guys keep the fires of Valhalla burning bright. And we're going to give you a little Spartan this morning. Skol!
Spartans! What is your profession?
Narwin Avalon says, isn't it detectiving kind of what he does? Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Oh my God. Somebody get this. Somebody get security. Security. Cage Universe Loki with a $2 Canadian super chat. I like that Kurtman fellow makes clowns funny. I don't. Go away, Cage Universe.
I like how he sends you a kiss as well.
God. Good Lord. Those alternates. Ugh. Ugh. Everything about that show can go to hell. I don't want to know about alternate universe Lokis. No. And there's only one Loki, and he's sitting right fucking here.
Yes.
So
as people have said. Yes.
So what would you give this first part? Of course, we're talking about the Long Halloween, the story of basically a killer called Holiday, a killer hunting down people in the crime families and taking them out. And Batman, being the detective he is, it's Scarecrow. No, it's Joker. No, it's Calendar Man. Because God, he's just not a detective in this.
He's really not, is he? No, I liked it. I love the kind of interaction between the Carmines and the Falcones. I thought that was done really, really well. You believe this kind of trenched in hatred between the two big mob families in Gotham. For part one, I would give it a solid 9. I really enjoyed this first part.
I agree. It would be an 8.5 or 9. It gets a point off definitely for Batman saying I never wanted to be a detective.
Yes.
But Gun Bunny Loki, make a clip of you saying Psychodorf9 so you have it in case you have a sore throat or in case you have someone filling in for you. That's true. It's true. A Psychodorf9, fucking something destroying something. I don't know. We'll think of something. A spaceship blowing up another one. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Traveler game report. That's what we'll do.
Oh, we could get Gimli blowing the horn.
Yeah. Well, we got that. We do have that.
We do. Yeah, we do have that.
We do have that. Gimli blowing the horn of Helm Hammerhand. May the horn of Helm Hammerhand sound in the deep once more. Yes. Anyway. Guys never figured that out, that's where I got that? Yes, that's where I got that. Because I was doing the same thing Gimli was doing when he said that. Yes! So, I would give it an 8.5, a 9. It definitely gets a point off for the, no detective shit. But part 2, I've got something to share here real quick. Part 2. Let's show something from part 2. Let's see. Oh my God, Abby Smash. That, ladies and gentlemen, I'll make it even bigger. We'll cover up both of us. That is the daughter of Carmine Falcone.
Yes, that's yes, that's
She's in part 2.
Character design.
She's in part 2. And let me tell you, I was intimidated when she was like, I want a seat at the table. Oh my God. You weren't Carmine Falcone's daughter. You're the fucking ogre that ate Carmine Falcone's daughter.
She's an intimidating presence in this. And it's a shame because I actually like the character that they gave her. She's just so over the top drawn. And she wasn't like this in the comic book. I mean, she was big, but she wasn't as intimidating as she is there.
Abby Smash. No shit. Oh no. I went and got my long Halloween out and was like, what the fuck? Well, she's big, but it's not like I want to say happy birthday to my pa. Damn. What are they feeding him on the Carmine Falcone plantation? Son of a bitch. And $14.99 super chat from Mexican Iron Man. However long and terrifying the long Halloween is, fear not, Purple, for lo, my private lair offers safe harbor. Darth Poppy shall join Admiral Loki to battle evil. Oh, wait, we're evil. Dang it, I'm confused.
Thank you, Poppy.
We're only evil one day a week.
Yes, and as the new designs say, bad girls go to Valhalla anyway.
Yes. Oh, you hear that, Mexican Iron Man? Good girls go to Echo Base Network. Bad girls go to Valhalla. Oh shit! And Cage Universe Logie with $2 Canadian super chat. I named my Taco Bell Kurtzman because it comes out shitty. Well, Abby Smash. That's a daughter. Yes. Ma'am. Yes.
Voice actress. I thought she was pretty cool, but my God, the design of her.
Everywhere I turn, Tila. It's Tila. And it's Tila.
Yeah, again, it's another oversized female that they've done for no particular reason. And she's not built as in, just tall and slender. She is broad. She's bigger than her dad.
Yeah, she is. She's like, damn, someone's been working out. And what's the weirdest thing is the other crime family that's in this. This guy's son is with Abby Smash, and you gotta wonder who's wearing the pants in that relationship. Who's on top? Really on top? I'm just curious. It's one of those things you got to ask yourself because you're like, damn, what the hell happened there? You explain this relationship to me. I mean, really, you're gonna take it tonight. Which one was that? I'm just curious. Yeah, Miss Luca Brazzi Falcone. Yes, Mexican Iron Man. Miss Luca Brazzi Falcone. Luca Brazzi sleeps with the fishes. Thank you guys so very much. Mexican Iron Man and Cage, even you, Cage Universe Loki. You guys keep the fires burning bright this morning, and I'm going to throw you $1. Skol!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a $1 bill.
I mean, I understand you've got women, and then you've got big women, but damn.
And she's so out of place with the rest of the family. She just doesn't.
She is.
Doesn't look like any.
You're still there.
I'm still here.
Is that? Oh shit. I think. Hello.
Still here.
Ah, all right. Last thing I heard you say was she so out of place that my whole screen went weird. I think that was me. That was on my end.
Yeah, I was saying she's so out of place within the family. I mean, you look at the rest of them and they all look like they're related, but she, not quite sure who the mother was, but damn.
So, of course, you've got this in part 2. Another thing that I was like, what the hell, is you've got Catwoman saving Batman left and right. Batman's out there and he's like, well, I'm gonna bang Poison Ivy, and I'm gonna go out and save people. And it's constantly Catwoman saving him. Catwoman saves him 4 times in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she does.
And it's not a long movie. It's like an hour and 25 minutes or something. Mm-hmm. It's not a long movie. So when you think about that, that's like a Catwoman save every 20 minutes.
Pretty much. And she just turns up for a lot of time just randomly, particularly at the beginning of the part 2. And basically what happens is Poison Ivy takes control of Bruce. She situates herself within Wayne Manor. She controls both Bruce and Alfred, and apparently she's taken control for 3 months and nobody's noticed that he's signing over huge parts of the Wayne Corporation to a crime family. But,
yeah, the charity. Mm-hmm. He signed over the charity. He signed over stocks. He signed over all this stuff to Carmine Falcone. And not only that, but he dipped his pen apparently multiple times in Ivy.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, think about it for a minute. Because Poison Ivy's like in her like plant. She's got plants all around her, and it like opens up, and he's like, duh, okay. And he walks over to her, and she just wraps her legs around her, brings them both up into the plant, and she's like, now for your reward. And all the bushes go around them, of course, but you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is going on here for 3 months. For 3 months.
For 3 months. And it's not subtle because the entire manor is covered in vines.
Yeah, the entire manor is covered in green vines.
But apparently the only person who can figure out what's going on and actually stop it is Catwoman, because she breaks in through the window when she said that Ivy lets her guard down.
So yeah, Project Story Time. Wait, if kissing her can kill you, God only knows what that's gonna do. I don't like giant bushes, neither do I. Anything you have to take a hedge trimmer to is too much. When you gotta fucking pull out the gas powered hedge trimmer, yeah, too much work. Sorry, I couldn't do it. I agree, Hawks Holocron. I like a nicely trimmed hedge.
I had no idea we had so many avid gardeners in chat.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway. Yeah, I love gardening talks, Tornapoopus Cuber. I do too. Yeah, that's right. Poison Ivy is all natural, Josh. So yeah. Oh my God, Arwen Avalon. For Christmas, does she trim her bush with boughs of holly? La 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 la. Yeah, the horticulture chat. We're talking plants this morning and hedge trimming.
Of course. But I actually really liked that scene. I thought that was one of the better scenes. That was kind of hot. And Ivy's design is really good in these long.
Yes. No, she looks absolutely kick-ass. She very, very reminiscent, almost like an upgraded version of the animated series.
Mm-hmm, absolutely, yeah. Definitely very sexy, very self-confident, and very powerful. as she shows throughout part 2. You know, she's definitely the powerhouse when it comes to the villains.
And we will get. I was disappointed with the end of this, but before we get to that, as we said, there are multiple times that Catwoman saves Batman in this. But not only that, she saves Harvey Dent too. And that I had a problem with. I had a problem with the Batman saves too, because they're relying heavily on her to like pull Batman out of bad situations. He don't need someone to pull him out of a bad situation. He is the bad situation. But they treated her like a hero, and that is not who she is. If she teamed up with Batman, she teamed up out of convenience. It was good for her. This was, yeah, they kind of had a point to it, but still, I don't like seeing it. If they want to have a fling on a rooftop, fine, by all means, have a fling on a rooftop. She is literally like staying at Wayne Manor. It's like Bruce comes down for coffee and she's right there hugging up behind him, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Yes. This is like Tom King Batman. This isn't the Long Halloween. This is Tom King Batman and Catwoman.
I think they took the whole idea that, you know, she only had a very kind of tenuous link to this because she had a selfish reason for wanting to get closer. She wanted to find out once and for all, is she part of the Carmine Falcone family? And this goes on into other books as well. But this was her kind of way of getting in, basically, to find out once and for all, am I part? Is this my family? Is this my father? But they really didn't touch on it a lot in the film. I think it's mentioned only once in passing.
And Larry makes a really interesting comment. No Harley Quinn is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. No Harley Quinn in this at all. No Harley Quinn. You get the Joker a couple of times. Probably get what 15 in the total, and then both parts combined, you get probably 15 minutes of the Joker.
Yeah, pretty much. He's not a major player, but he had some pretty good scenes. The character that I really like seeing in part 2 was actually Scarecrow. I thought they did really well with him. One of my favorite characters, and I actually really like the look of him.
So I've got a question for you here.
Mm-hmm.
Gilda Dent.
Ugh.
So Harvey Dent is married in this, and this is like his turn, and the way they did it was exactly the way they did it, almost exactly the way they did it in the comic, which I love. I hate when they fundamentally change things, like how Two-Face becomes Two-Face. Do you remember in The Dark Knight when you had that scene in the courtroom where the guy's like, I don't know, I you know, this guy, he's squeaky clean, blah blah blah, and then he pulls a gun on him and Dent grabs it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's like, this is why you buy American, because the gun jammed.
Yes.
Okay. So in that scene, he should have become Two-Face, because in the comic, they literally, oh my God, I have to share something real quick. They literally spray acid on his face.
Yep.
So they spray acid on his face, and it's in the courtroom, and he becomes Two-Face. That's what they do in this. They hold true to the way it worked in the comic book, and I applaud them for that. I do, because God, they could have done something completely screwed up.
Yes,
and they didn't.
They could have done it at any time, like you say. They could have done it when the house got blown up. They could have done it when he was being attacked. But I am really glad that they stuck with the courtroom scene.
Thank you, Steven. Naughty Dog's gonna strike us for that. They're gonna say copyright claim because of that little symbol at the bottom of the box, and they're gonna take us down. Yes. Absolutely. Thank you, Steven, brother. That's just, yeah. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Yeah, still talking about Catwoman. She's mostly a cat girl and thrill seeker. She's a very selfish character. Yes.
She is. And especially this is one that's supposed to be one of the very earlier stories involving them. So her character really hasn't had time to develop. She is literally just a cat burglar. And like I said,
Yes.
her whole kind of wanting to get closer to this is for selfish reasons. She wants to find out for herself where she comes from, and this was her way in to get closer to the family. It wasn't an altruistic thing that she was doing ultimately.
No. But back to Dent. So you've got to really the way they did it with Harvey is it was really well done. The way Harvey's story was, but his wife,
Yes,
Gilda. So let's go over this real quick. You are Batman. You are Batman, and you are investigating this holiday killer, and that's what they end up calling the killer in this. It is the long Halloween, but the killer killed on Halloween the first time, and then continues to kill on only holidays. So they call the killer Holiday. Now you are investigating this killer. You get an inkling that maybe Harvey Dent, has something to do with this. You get into Harvey Dent's basement. And while you are in Harvey Dent's basement, you hear a conversation between Gilda Dent and Harvey Dent that ends with Harvey saying, "You forgot to close the basement door again."
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
And as you walk over to the other side of the room, there is a pennant, a college pennant. I would say Oxford. I believe it said Oxford. It says Oxford. And there are two handguns, the exact same make, the exact same model that the Holiday Killer has used in every killing. That alone screams Gilda Dent has something to do with this.
Yes.
And he still blames it on Harvey. He still goes to Gordon and he's like, "You're not going to like this. Harvey Dent is Holiday." What? I was like, what?
Yes. What happened to these detective skills that we were talking about?
Yeah.
It's all very convenient. That's the problem, and that's where this part 2 falls down. Part 1 was great. It sets up, but it just stumbles at the end because you're relying on the fact that, one, he doesn't want to believe the obvious. Even though all the evidence is pointing in one direction, he still wants to kind of follow this lead that he thinks he has, as much as he is Harvey's friend, and I think he's blinded in some way. He wants to prove that he isn't involved, but say in his quest to do that, he just doesn't consider anybody else. It's really weird.
And Josh, he does go to Calendar Man. He does go to Calendar Man in Arkham. There are multiple visits to Arkham in this 2-part series, and he does go to Calendar Man. And Calendar Man actually helps him. He's like, "Well, what was this and what was that?" And Calendar Man actually helps him and is like, "Oh no, Batman, you aren't the world's greatest detective because I figured this all out already. You're playing catch up with Calendar Man." And it's just like, God, dude, why did y'all make him stupid? It's like, I can beat the hell out of anybody, but I'm not that great of a detective. That's not what Batman is. And he's, besides him saying, "I never wanted to be a detective," in the first one, he does a really good job of trying to figure things out. I mean, it all makes sense. He makes these logical conclusions and follows point A to point B to point C. He pretty much follows the breadcrumbs in part 1. In part 2, it's like they just stole all the intelligence from Batman. And you're like, what in the hell happened here?
Yes, I mean, at the end of part one, he also, manages to stop the Joker, who's getting really pissed that Holiday's kind of taking his crown.
Yeah.
And this had nothing to do with Holiday. It was just him figuring out really quickly what the Joker was going to do and avert a massive crisis that would have killed a lot of people.
And okay, so he thinks, well, it's Joker. And then he's like, oh, well, it's Carmine Falcone's son. Oh, well, then it's this person. Oh, well, then it's Harvey. And it's like, dude, what in the hell is wrong with you? I mean, up to that point, he hasn't even banged Ivy yet. So we can't blame it on, him just blowing all his energy doing that. He doesn't have baby batter on the brain yet. He's just got it. It's just, damn.
I can't believe you just said that.
Well, shit. It's like he's not intelligent. This is not the world's greatest detective. This is the world's greatest buffoon.
Mm-hmm. They really did dumb him down for part two, and he just stumbles from one scenario to the other until we finally get the conclusion. And just going back to Gilda's character, I never liked her. I didn't like her in the book. I didn't like her in this. I know the way that she's portrayed, she's supposed to be kind of mousy and, very unassuming, but she still screams that she's, there's something not quite right with her.
It would take a fucking moron not to see that. And Batman's right there in that basement. The door is open. He's standing right by the door when Harvey's like, you forgot to close the basement door again.
Yes, and
I haven't been down into the basement today.
Yes, she even says I haven't been in the basement. It's like, oh my God.
Today. But the signaling that she's the one that goes down there.
Mm-hmm.
So Batman's like, Oxford. Okay, so you see the pennant, Oxford. Harvey didn't go to fucking Oxford.
Nope.
Guess who went to Oxford? Gilda. And the guns are right by the pennant. Literally, it's like pennant, guns below it.
Yeah, might as well have just had, it all lined up in a big stack of photos of the people that she killed. But are we supposed to believe also that Harvey never goes down there just for, reasons? She can just leave the guns and the evidence lying on the table.
And I didn't remember the comic being like this. I didn't.
No, I didn't either. I went back and reread it just to check as I was watching it, just to kind of flip through, because they do change, especially in part two, quite a few bits.
Yes.
There was one character that I was kind of sad that they didn't have in at all, because he was linked to one of the holidays. It was Riddler. He's not in it, and he's actually he's set up to be the victim for April Fool's Day, and he doesn't get killed because it's April Fool's Day. But he's just not in this, which I was a little bit disappointed with.
Yeah, I thumbed through the graphic novel last night just to check some things. Yeah, and that dude, Chris, nails it on the head. Whammons can't be bad. Whammons can't be bad. And pretty much he lets her get away with it.
Mm-hmm, he does, yeah. Which is the most bizarre thing. They have a very long talk at the end of the film. She's burning evidence.
And God, what she did to Harvey. You guys want to talk about a mind fuck here. She watched Harvey pretty much destroy himself and go insane. And she like the whole time she's like, well, you know what? Too bad, because this happened to me. So I used you. I came to Gotham. I used Harvey Dent. I got close to him because he could take out the Falcones. Mm-hmm. Because I'm pissed. I'm having a pissy day, and some really fucked up shit happened to her. I will admit that. But she was pissed, and she used Harvey and watched Harvey disintegrate. She put Harvey Dent on this course and watched him turn into Two-Face and was just like, price we pay. And I'm like, you evil cunt. And Batman just stands there and is like, he was my friend, but oh well. You can go now.
Yes, it's two wrongs don't make a right. And it's just a really bizarre thing that he just walks away from this. He's been tracking this killer for over a year. She's killed so many people. As you say, she's driven Harvey insane. She said that she loved him, but did she really? I don't think she did.
No.
But
She can't love somebody and like encourage them to go insane at the same time.
Yes.
And anyone that says that, oh well, that's just a relationship. No, you're just a sick fuck. If you think driving someone insane, literally driving them insane, driving them to have a split personality is love, well, think again. I think you're fucking absolutely insane. And she's absolutely insane. I mean, when it comes down to it, Gilda Dent had a relationship with Carmine Falcone's son. That relationship was not approved by Carmine. And she was basically put out in the street after they did something really fucked up to her. Okay,
Yes.
so I get the motivation of I want to destroy the Falcones, but what she did to Harvey is worse. She attached herself to Harvey. She led him to believe that she was in love with him. He was very much in love with her. I don't see how, but he was. And she, through the whole fucking thing, you can tell something is seriously off with this woman. And at the end, she straight up tells Batman, I fucking manipulated him. I used him. I set all of this up so that he would take down the Falcones. Harvey was a simp.
Yes, she expresses absolutely no remorse for what she did, not just for what she did to the family, but what she's put everybody else in Gotham through. A whole year of terror, not knowing when or who's next. The police force, having them run around ragged, trying to solve this crime. And to be honest, Jim Gordon's kind of useless in this as well. I know he's just a captain at the moment, but he's really not very effective. He's about as useful as a detective as Batman is. But even as he leaves, Batman asks her, "Is Holiday finished?" And she says, "Yes, Holiday is done. There will be no more seeing of Holiday." And he just leaves.
Yep.
It's like, the hell?
Yep. He just leaves. He doesn't arrest her. He doesn't take her in. He doesn't bring her in. He doesn't do shit. He just leaves. And the other thing, when because she asks Batman, when did you know it was me? And he was like, not until Harvey did this, this, and the other. And I'm like, God, dude, everyone knew but you. Everyone watching this knew who the fucking killer was besides you, Batman. World's greatest detective, my ass. No one will ever know what she did.
Except him, and he's not going to do anything about it, apparently.
And everyone blames Harvey. So, I mean, and Batman's like, he was my friend and we worked together. No, he wasn't. If he was, you would have dragged that bitch into Gordon and been like, there's Holiday. Here's Holiday. Here's your fucking killer.
Yes.
But he just lets her go. Doesn't matter. It does not fucking matter. I know this may sound cold for anyone that knows what the Falcones did to her. It doesn't fucking matter. She killed half his fucking organization, his son, his daughter, all this shit she does. All these deaths are on her. People were framed, including Harvey Dent. Their reputation destroyed. Their lives destroyed. Harvey got turned into fucking Two-Face because of this. And that's all on her, and he just lets her go. Oh, well, as long as Holiday's gone. No, No, you fucking cuff her and you drag her down to the Gotham Police Department and you hand her to Gordon personally. That is what Batman does. And instead it's like, oh, well, she told me a sad story, so I let her go.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And yes, it is a sad story, but as Loki says, it doesn't matter. The whole point of Batman is he's supposed to enact justice, and justice is not served at the end of this film.
No. And Potter, it unfolded all according to Batman's plan. Trust me, I know. Yeah, world's greatest amateur detective with his head up his ass. Time to flip a coin. They got Two-Face right. They got Harvey right. I liked all of that, especially when Harvey starts hearing shit.
Yes, that was
yes, and that's right before he becomes Two-Face. You're starting to be like, oh shit, murderer. Oh, dude, I was like, yes, okay. Yes. I'm liking this.
You can see the cracks forming. Yeah,
but I've never been so divided and torn in a DC animated movie like this. Usually, either I like it, I love it, or I hate it. So, like it, love it, hate it. This is like, man, I like this part. I hate this. I like this. I hate this. I love one or two things about this, and I fucking hate the rest of it. There is no like it, love it, or hate it. It's just a mixed bag from start to finish of what this could have been.
Yeah.
Yes, his inadequacy for solving the case and for allowing the mastermind to get away. Yes, absolutely. And it's not like this is fucking year one, guys. No. This isn't year one here. He's a young Batman, but he's not supposed to be dumb.
No. But at this point, we have the costume villains. You know, he's not just up against the mob families as he is in year one.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the end of this when you've got an entire rogues gallery versus Batman and Catwoman.
Yes.
And Ivy is pissed. She's like, you kicked me in the face last time, you catty bitch. I'm going to end you. Ivy is not playing around in the second part of this. So you've got Ivy, I loved Solomon Grundy. I mean, half of me, I'm born on a Monday. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. I loved Grundy. I love Two-Face. I love that you got a little bit of the Joker back in this. And Batman took him out way too easy. But with the knife scene where he's just coming at Batman with the knife, I thought that was all great until he dropped it and caught it with the other hand. And then I rolled and was like, my God, get over it, Hollywood.
Yeah, is that a thing? Is that just keeps happening? I've noticed recently.
That's a thing. That's a fuck you to anyone who doesn't like that knife dropping thing. Yes, that's all the way to The Last Jedi. Oh, we're all going to put a knife drop in our shit now. God help me.
Yeah, I thought they made a pretty good, even though a lot of them were just cameos, it was really good to see some of them. And some of the rogues that you don't see very often, like you say, we had Calendar Man, who was really well done.
Man, he was.
Mad Hatter, he was
Mad Hatter.
Good. Yep. Loved Scarecrow, especially because they did actually make use of his fear gas, which is always 50-50 whether they can get it right. Especially like the scene where he goes to gas him, and then Batman's wearing a mask, so he just stabs him with a needle instead.
Yep, he injects him. I thought that was stupid. I'm like, you're dealing with Scarecrow. You put Scarecrow in Arkham, and you let him get close enough to stab you with a needle. Dumbass. World's greatest detective, my ass.
Another rookie mistake. But I really liked it. Like I said, I love the character designs. Joker was very he was very out there with the design that they gave him, and I think it fitted quite well. You know, he's very elongated in the face. He looks like the Arkham Scarecrow, Arkham Joker from the games.
Yes,
which I really liked. And I, as I say, really loved the look of Ivy, and they showed how powerful she actually is as well. Not just with her mind control, but with her use of vines, and she can just tear buildings apart if she needs to.
Yeah, no, she absolutely kicked ass in this. I have to say, out of all the villains in the entire Rogues Gallery in part 2, Ivy took the cake. Ivy took the crown. I love Grundy. I love Grundy. I thought Grundy was kick ass. I'm smiling and laughing my ass off. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. But as far as just kick ass goes, Ivy took the cake. She manipulated Batman. She manipulated Alfred at the beginning of part 2, and then she literally kicks some ass at the end of this.
She does, yeah. I mean, obviously, ultimately they get taken down, but she's the one that gets taken down the last. I think they take out Joker, they take out Penguin, and Mad Hatter in this.
God, you only get a glimpse of Penguin. It's like Penguin's not there, and then he's like, "On God, Batman," and you're like, "What in the hell? Where did he come from?"
And then just gets whacked with an umbrella and he's taken out.
And that's it. It's like, damn. Oh, look, it's Penguin. Oh, there goes Penguin. Oh, that's
there
it.
He goes.
Little roly-poly going down the stairs. Reminds me of Danny DeVito. Little roly-poly rolling down the stairs. Animation in this was spot on. Story needed work, a lot of work.
Yes.
I like Two-Face. I'm gonna have to give part 2. I'm gonna have to give it like a 6. I want so much. I want to give it more because honestly, there's parts that really, like I said, the Grundy thing just made me smile every time I saw him. I was like, Grundy, you big bastard, you, you funny bastard. And Harvey goes down there and feeds him rats. He's like, here's dinner, bitch. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. And he manipulates Grundy to help him. But I just, then there's all this other shit. There's all this other shit that's just like, why? I never wanted to be a detective. I'm not really a detective. I'm an amateur fucking wannabe detective. That's I'm an amateur wannabe detective, and I don't want to be a detective.
So it kind of begs the question, what do you want to be then, Batman? Do you want to be just somebody known as a vigilante who beats the shit out of people? Because that's kind of where they were going with it. If he doesn't want to be a detective. And I always hated when they take away the compassion of the character, because that's something that is kind of hard to write. But when it's written well, it really brings out the humanity in him. And I think that's kind of where they were going with the ending of this, when he lets her go, but it was the wrong decision to make. I would probably give it a 6 as well. The bits that were strong from the first part stayed strong. The animation, the music was great. The character designs are really good. The voice cast, for the most part, is spot on. I thought they were all believable. They all did really good roles. But the bits with Catwoman were too over the top. And the ending, I disagreed with.
Absolutely. That's spot on. They just made some very big mistakes, and you don't get a second chance. You can't go back and fix this. So they can't fix part 2, which means you can't fix part 1, which means that I've got a 2-parter that I just don't want.
But you don't, because 2022, it's being reformatted into a single movie.
Oh my God.
It comes out next year as one long film. It's not even going to be part 1 and part 2. So we've already got a release of part 1 and part 2 on Blu-ray and DVD, and now we're going to get an extended version, I guess.
Or they'll cut it and just cut stupid shit out of it. Oh no. Oh, this had so much. guys, at a time where we need good stuff, this had so much promise. Like I said, part 1 had just a couple of things in it that I was like, eh. Especially when Clobbering Times told me, dude, he says I never wanted to be a detective. That's bullshit. I was like, I never remember hearing that. He goes, oh, it's fucking in there. And I went back and I listened and I was like, God dang, if it isn't in there.
Yep.
I never wanted to be a detective. I'm like, man, bitch, don't tell me that. You know you lying. Yeah. Project Storytime. I've trained myself to the peak of human physical and mental capacity, and I watch Matlock for my detective skill buildings. Dude, that's Lego Batman. That's fucking Lego Batman. That's the Lego Batman talking. Doing donuts in the Batmobile, shooting Batman merch out of it. Oh, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our review of Batman Long Halloween. Mm-hmm. I hate that it turned out the way it did. I want good entertainment. Same thing with fucking Star Trek. God, Kurtzman's 2026. He's getting fired. They're getting rid of him. They're replacing him. No, that bitch just got $150 million deal for another 5 years. Yeah. Ugh.
No matter how many times you flush, you can't get rid of him.
No. He's the unsinkable turd. God, CBS left a floater. Yeah, I know. We all know. CBS left a floater, and its name is Alex Kurtzman. So tomorrow we will be back, but tonight we are having a Valhalla movie watch party. We are going to be watching Tombstone, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Hell yes.
On this channel. We are going to get together, and we are going to watch Tombstone. So if you guys can make it, by all means, come hang out. We're going to have a popcorn movie night. We're going to watch Tombstone. You got to have your own copy, though. It's the only thing. You got to have your own copy of the movie. So if you would like to be on the panel tonight, send me a message. If I have room, I'm your Huckleberry. If I don't, I will let you know. I won't just ignore you. But if I have room, I will let you know. What do you got coming up, Purple?
Yes, can't wait. Monday Movie Madness. Loving it. In just over an hour, I'm going to be joined by Starry-Eyed Girl, and we're going to be talking about the repercussions of Whittaker and gin balls making a sharp exit.
God, I hate fucking shin balls. Ding dong, the bitches are dead, the bitches are dead, the bitches are dead. Ding dong, Doctor Who's not dead. Da, 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 da. Or maybe it's going to be worse. You never know with fucking the BBC.
It's not dead, but it's certainly on life support. So
Jesus Christ, Star Trek's definitely dead. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting out of here. I absolutely love y'all. Take care. Have a great one, and we will see you all at the watch party later tonight at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Everyone, take care. Have a good one, and don't miss Purple and Starry going on in 1 hour. I'll catch you guys later.
Take care, all.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.